Do you ever wonder what goes on in a top-level singles player's mind when they're playing in the middle of their match? Well, today you get to find out with these brand new patented technology goggles called Tennis Vision. We're going to take you directly into the mind of the tennis player. Look, JJ's in the middle of his match. Why don't we go see?
Okay, this is a super important point. Can't miss here.
Wow, that was super disorienting. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and change the channel and look through Kevin's perspective instead.
I knew it. His backhand isn't holding up to my inside-out forehand. He really struggled with it the last few points. Let's set it up again with a wide serve right here.
What you saw is not science fiction. Well, maybe these Tennis Vision goggles are, but what you saw Kevin do by analyzing points and building it and putting it together is what all high-level tennis players do. They see things that other people can't see. They're putting together patterns of play that other people aren't even aware of, and they're combining those two things against their opponent to put together effective plans and game plans that are gonna win them more matches. Do you wanna know how to do this? We're gonna show you, and it all starts with phases of play. There are 3 phases of play in tennis: offense, neutral, and defense. Offense meaning you're in control of the point, neutral meaning both sides have about the same amount of control, and defense meaning your opponent is in control of the point. Now, if we're looking at when Kevin was playing AJ, Kevin's serving, and right off the bat, he sees JJ reaching out for a ball, way off balance. He recognizes early that he knows he's on the defense. JJ's on the defense, so he's gonna have the opportunity to use offensive play against his opponent. So he's looking for a short ball, something that he can attack, and he goes around and he uses his forehand instead of the backhand, even though it's a little bit to the backhand side, because his forehand is his weapon, and he wants to use his weapon when he's on the offense to attack his opponent at any time. It's really important to understand when you can see that you're gonna be on the offense so that you can pounce right away and take advantage every time.
Now that Kevin has set the point up in his favor and he recognizes his phase advantage in the point, and he's also positioned himself to hit his strength instead of his weakness, it's time to pick a target that sets him up for the most amount of success possible. And that starts by knowing the geometry of the court and picking the smartest, highest percentage, most consistent target. That's critical to your success as a singles player because most tennis points end with somebody making a mistake. So Kevin wants to choose targets that maximize his chance of success. And he chose cross court for 2 main reasons. First of all, the net is the lowest right in the center at the center strap, and it raises up towards the posts. So by hitting his forehand cross court, he's able to hit over the lowest part of the net, maximizing his chances of avoiding it. Secondly, the court is longest corner to corner, cross court, and so he gives himself the biggest possible amount of room to be able to hit his shot. And finally, he recognizes that JJ's backhand is cross court from that inside out forehand, so that layers even more pressure on top of the smart shot selection.
The final layer of knowledge is understanding targeting, how you can maximize the amount of running your opponent has to do and minimize the amount of running you have to do. And that's all done by understanding this one simple concept of hitting yourself in and out of position. Let me explain. When I'm playing JJ and I served out wide and I realize he's so far off the court, his response was to go down the line, which hits him out of position. The reason we know this is because for him hitting the ball here, he has to recover all the way over here to the other side of the court to get ready for the next shot. So you can see how this is out of position. He has a lot of court to cover. Now instead, if he hit the ball cross court, he only has to recover right here. It's a much shorter position inside the court. meaning he hits himself with a shorter position in position. So the next thing is, since I know this, I move here and I'm going to respond by hitting my forehand inside out. Really, it's a cross court, but using my forehand. Where do I have to be for my next shot? Well, it's easy. Since I hit it from here, I only have to be right there. So I've hit myself into position. It's a really crucial concept to make sure you understand this so you're not constantly hitting yourself out of position and causing yourself having to run more. So I realized my phase of play advantage and anticipated by moving to hit my strength instead of my weakness, all while choosing high percentage shots like my inside out forehand. So I was making sure that I hit myself in position and exploiting the fact that my opponent was hitting himself out of position. And on top of all that, I got to hit those weaknesses. Now, all this happened within a couple seconds because these frameworks are automatically in my mind because of the work I've done in the past. Wouldn't you want to do the same thing? Well, guess what? In our next video, we're going to unveil the new singles matrix worksheet. Now, it takes a second to fill out, but guess what? You're going to have so many insights to your next singles match. So if you're serious about your singles game, don't miss it.